All right. Hello, Carmen. Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
I am very good. How are you?
I'm really good too.
Perfect. Good
Thank
to see. Good to see. Quick question: where are you based? I saw your phone number, and I've never seen a phone number like this before.
you. We're off planet.
In Mars.
No, leave that for the likes of Elon Musk. We're much further, maybe Atlantean something or
Jesus. Okay, so satellite.
no,
No.
Mauritius.
Ah, Mauritius, lovely, lovely. You're not too far. I mean, obviously, we are based in London. The Perlemon's a UK-based company.
Yes.
But personally, I have family in South Africa, so I'm currently in South Africa. I came to visit my family, and now I'm going back to the UK. You're not too far
Okay,
off. Not too far off.
okay. So,
Not too far off.
what's your nationality?
But that's even more interesting. I'm actually Portuguese. So I'm
Aha,
Portuguese living in the UK, but with family here in South Africa. So I came here to visit, and then I'm going back to the UK.
fantastic. And where in South Africa are you at the moment?
Cape Town.
Ah,
In
that's just the best.
exactly. In my opinion, there's nowhere else worth being than other than Cape Town.
Totally. And you've got good weather at the moment. I'm just, I asked Gary, my partner, to join.
Oh, Gary is here. I thought that was
I don't,
our Gary trying to join as well.
oh,
Okay, so
there we go.
there we
Okay.
go. That's Gary. Sorry. Hi, Gary. How are you?
Cool, you man.
Also good. Also good. I'm sorry to keep you waiting. Is that we also have a Gary in our team, and I thought he was trying to come into our meeting. I was like, no, not today. But
And
okay.
hijack the meeting.
Yes, I thought that. But yeah, but I see that you're Gary, not our Gary. But perfect. How are you doing today?
Cool, man. Is that a South African accent we detect?
Yes, I'm also getting a bit of a South African accent from you guys.
Yeah. That's us, bro.
But how come? Because Carmen here was saying that you're based in Mauritius, but are you any relation to South Africa or?
Yeah, we
Yes.
come from South Africa.
Okay, makes sense. Makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Okay, makes perfect sense. No, I was telling you, I'm actually Portuguese, living in the UK, but I have some family here in South Africa, so I come here fairly often.
Okay.
So I
So
come
he's
here,
in Cape Town at the moment.
literally,
Oh, cool.
and I'm
My
going back
daughter's
to.
there at the moment.
Are you in Cape Town also
Yeah.
at the moment? Hey, we're basically
No,
neighbors at this point.
No, no.
my daughter's there at the moment.
Oh,
She's visiting from the UK.
okay. Also, pretty much similar as me as
Hmm.
well. It's actually interesting. Coincidence. No, but that's
Yes,
perfect.
exactly.
Cool,
So, I
man.
mean, I'm gonna have another meeting in 30 minutes, so
Okay.
I will maybe it's better to keep this short, sweet, and to the point. But I mean, I understand. I tried. I see that you don't have your website live yet, so I don't really understand where you come from or what. I just understand that you're looking to for help with implementing a email campaign.
Yes. Okay.
So
So
yeah,
let's give you some background.
hmm
Whilst we've been in business for 20 years,
okay,
the business that for this discussion is has been we launched it about just over a year ago,
okay,
and the campaign that we're wanting to talk about here is our launch campaign for this business.
okay.
And the first product. So the business is called the company is called Legend X,
Legend.
and it's registered in the Isle of Man. Our other company is registered in the UK,
Okay.
and the for Legend X, the first product is a membership subscription product.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the target market is coaches and consultants,
Okay.
and basically what we're requiring, and we can get into more details if you need
Mm-hmm.
it around the actual product, but what we're requiring is a support from technical setup
Mm-hmm.
to from strategy,
Mm-hmm.
how we go, best way to do this,
Okay.
to then actual nitty gritty technical
Mm-hmm.
setup, we've got a list of 50,000. It's a
Okay.
list that we bought. It's not a
Okay.
subscribed list, and that's why it's a cold email campaign.
Mm-hmm.
It's a list of 50,000 coaches and consultants worldwide that our sales mentor helped us
Put together.
well,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
put together, yeah. So we need to do the technical side of things. It's new domains, setting up those email addresses with all the verifications, etc. And then as a team, we're looking for partners to really help us. How do we navigate this cold email landscape where over about a 2-month period, we're hoping the launch to take place and to get through that list? How do we navigate this sending cold emails via a sequence, automated, email campaign, and getting into the inboxes?
Yes, that is the tricky part. Yes, 100%.
That would be the tricky part. Is the biggest thing is getting into the inboxes. How are we going to craft those mails to make sure that they do, but also besides the emails or the copy, make sure that Google and all these big brothers don't slap us on the way to getting into the inboxes.
Yeah, we want to avoid ending up in spam.
Yeah, 100%.
And from blocked lists and
blacklists and stuff like that.
In a nutshell, it's how do we deliver 50,000 emails to a targeted list without being wiped or cancelled
and send it to the spam box. I mean, that is not a problem. I mean, that is obviously that's what we do and that's what we learn to do, and it basically just means that you have to warm up the servers. It implies some degree of setting up, but it's completely doable. And the only thing is, if I'm getting correct, you said you have a list of 50,000 and you're aiming to reach all of them in 2 months, or as many as you can at least.
That's because what we don't know is scary.
Exactly.
So that's the target. This is very new to us.
Okay.
Sorry. The real target. We just got a list of 50.
Yeah.
The actual target is we'd like to close 500 sales in 2 months.
Okay. And then
that's however
100%.
Many it takes to that. That's fine.
100%. And then you said it's a subscription base for consultants, but then what is it that you actually do? Well, what's more a bit about the product? If you could just give me like a 5-minute pitch, or not even, just quickly.
Guy, you go ahead. That's your
that's your expertise.
Okay. Yeah. So we come from the sort of high-end coaching, consulting, and mentoring space over the last 20 years, working with founder CEOs with proprietary tools and content we've developed over the years that generates incredible results. And we're now moving into that one-to-many space where we've decided, because these are highly guarded secrets that we've kept to ourselves, and that has differentiated us as a coaching and consulting and mentoring firm. We've kept this to ourselves all these years, and we've decided we want to share these secrets now with coaches and consultants around the world to have a massive impact on raising consciousness and driving people to or giving them the roadmap to achieve success on all levels. And so what we're going to be doing now is doing live sessions and recorded content to a large group of people. So primarily they're going to have access to the recordings. Not everybody will attend the live sessions, but they'll have access to the recordings. We will be providing them with tools and resources that support them on their journey to legendary success. And so, we're launching at a very low rate initially to get that critical mass and make it an irresistible offer for them. So the people that come on board now are really going to have an amazing deal, because we're actually going to cap their monthly subscription for them as long as they remain members. So it's at $97 a month, where we were charging previously $8,000 to $12,000 a month for these services. So
that's a big difference.
It's huge.
Big difference.
Yeah. So and now we provide so much value. They have no idea how much value they're going to get, but it's amazing what they're going to be getting out of this. So we'll have digital content. We'll also have live interaction in group sessions, and we'll also provide these very cool tools like assessments very top end assessments that give thorough reporting and all that kind of stuff. So they're going to have a lot of resources on hand.
Okay, I see.
The overall promise, in a nutshell, is that we're providing the guidance, very, very evolved insights and tools to help coaches and consultants rise to the top 1% in their field. That's really the overall promise. And we've got a model as to how to do that and attain legendary success in the process. And really, for us, legendary success, Gary did mention it. It's not just business and financial success. It is literally you running a legendary practice, which means you're getting transformational results and you're getting that financial success. But very importantly for us is that you love your life while you're doing this. And while you're doing that, you actually living a legacy. You're not going to leave a legacy. You are living your legacy, which is the Legend X mission. And so we literally are providing a guide for coaches, consultants, and then CEOs when we launch that program to become living legends through their practice, through their best work, through their talents and gifts and what they're doing in the world. And we're bringing this together in a circle, a legendary circle. So it's got a really beautiful mission and vision to it. And
it sounds beautiful, and I can definitely see the value and everything that you're trying to bring. It's just now working together to also then now write a good copy that passes this message on along in an email, because obviously these people are going to be offered a lot of, probably not a lot of similar things, but have been offered similar things. Now it's how to sit together and stand out to then your offer being the one that they go for. But that's also, again, that's something that we can definitely help with. We are a copywriting award-winning agency, so our copy is quite good. We'll help you as much as we can. We'll put together the scripts for the emails. We'll send them back to you so that you can also have a look, because obviously different industries will have different jargons, different terms. So we always send it to you to get your approval. We work together to come up with the right email, and then we start reaching out. And then also what we like to do is not only put together one email, but put together 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different emails and send out and see which kind of emails has a better response. Some will, for example, be more humorous, some will be more serious, and then trying to assess then based on the feedback what works best, so that then we can double down on what's working better and what's not, and we work a bit in that sense. So that's a bit of what we do.
Okay, can you give us a little bit? Thank you for that. The how much is it a done for you or done with you service from the beginnings part, in terms of the technical setup? What platform are you using? How do you handle the different domains and email addresses? Can you give us some of that?
Yeah, 100%. That's obviously something that we'll do on our part. The thing we do in terms of domains, we won't use the exact same domain as you for credibility, not for reputation, let's say. And so we set up a very similar domain, but not exactly the same. And depending on the amount of emails that we'll be sending out, we can set up more than one. And we'll reach out in that sense. We'll do all the warm up, we'll do all the setting up, all the nitty gritty, all the technical part that you're saying. We can do all of that. If you want to be involved, I'm sure that we can also try to involve you in some manner. But we usually tend to do that part. And once everything is done, we send out. In terms of sending out, and there's two approaches that we can use. We can either go for email blasts, and with an email blast, we can basically reach the whole 50,000 people in one day, and we reach out. It's just a blast. But the only downside is that it's only one email. So it's very good if you're trying to send like a newsletter or something to that sense, something that you want to reach out, and that's it. Otherwise, we can set what we call an email sequencing. And with the email sequencing, I'm assuming that it's more what you'll be looking for, because as the name says, we send an email. If they don't respond, then we'll send another one, let's say 5 days after, then another one 5 days after. And this way we can pressure them a bit, but not be too pushy, just enough to keep them engaged and curious. And so that we send, I think it's up to 5 emails. So in total, it'll be 25 days. And we'll send one, then another one, then another one, another one. And this is, it's good in the sense that we'll send more emails, but our reach will also be a lot smaller, because usually we start with, let's say, 50, 70 emails a day to then start. Now, as I said, we're going to send a lot of different emails. So we want to at first send fewer, and understand the responses, see what we're getting, and then as we start understanding more and more and more, we start scaling and scaling and scaling, and we can end up reaching several hundred emails a day. So I'd say 200, 300, 400, 500 emails a day even. So, but it's instead of sending 50,000 emails in a day, we'll start slower, trying to understand a bit better, and then as we understand, start scaling up, and these emails will all be sequencing emails that will then push and push and push and push and trying to get positive responses from the people.
What happens at the end of the process? So if you're handling all of this, which we're very happy for you to do, but what happens at the end of the process? Do we end up with a scenario, or what I'm imagining, we'd have two scenarios. One is we've got 500 people signed up and they're on our membership program, and obviously those links have sent them there, so they are on our CRM system. That's not a problem. For those that haven't signed up, I'm sure the sequence is going to help us with triggers and things like that. Either some might unsubscribe or something, and some might fall off the list. What happens to those? Do we also have this opportunity or a way to create some warm leads as well that we can continue to?
Yeah, 100%. We'll put everything into lists, because obviously we'll get different responses from emails. All of them will be put into this. We'll also, to a degree, actually, like help you sort the list, organize the list into, let's say, the different types of targets that we could find, and then tailor different campaigns for each target so that it's as relevant as we can. So it doesn't make sense, so that you can tailor the email specifically to, let's say, consultants or coaches or this or that, and then tailor exactly specific so that we can hit them right, instead of just sending one general email to everyone. So first, go through the list, organize it all, and then start reaching out these email sequences and try and see what we wait to see the response that we get, and then based on the response that we get, then tailor. And then obviously we'll put together all the information, all the response we get, we'll put them into different lists, and we'll share all these lists with you. Usually we put all this information into Google Sheets because it's the most easy. It's the platform that integrates the best with all kinds of CRM and everything. So if we can just put everything into Google Sheet, and then you can just import it into your CRMs, and then we can work in that sense. And the way that we would do, we work a lot with WhatsApp for quick communication. So if we work together, then we would create a group. It would be myself, yourself, the relevant members of each team. And in this group, we would then, if you have any questions, you can ask our questions. We'll also ask you the questions. And then in these groups, we'll send you reports, we'll send everything. And then we'll also send them through email, and we can have calls every week or every 2 weeks, whatever you prefer, in terms of also to keep you in the loop. We can have calls either every week or bi-weekly, and then keep you updated in that sense.
Okay. Now, the one thing we don't know is what kind of list we have.
We bought a list. You have a list. But what?
We don't know. I mean, we've basically been given a name and an email.
Oh, is that it? You don't. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we don't even have segmentation.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, apparently, our mentor, he works with these list agencies. I mean, this is a guy who's worked with Tony Robbins and the likes.
Oh, wow.
He's a big fish. He's done over $100 million in sales. He's a marketer, and he used very different marketing strategies to what you see today. It's based upon sort of 100-year-old methodology that really works. So he's had massive success, and he facilitated the purchase of this list. But we noticed that there's very little information apart from a first name and email address, which is not ideal. So when it comes to segmenting that list, it becomes virtually impossible based upon an email address or a name.
And we need to verify the list as well. Again, we'd definitely clean it up. So yes, we don't know until we test what we have here, whether this. So that the reason I bring it up is because we don't have much segmentation opportunity in a list like this. If we find, do you help with the actual finding the leads in some way 100%. As well?
We also, I mean, we're a lead generation agency as well. So we also have our databases, we have our tools. And I mean, from our perspective, we usually, I say this, I'm not too involved in that process, but I've had it that I've asked for prospects that are looking for a lead sample, and they have everything: their first name, second name, role in the company, phone numbers, emails, everything. Just don't have addresses, but that would be a bit scary as well. but basically, we have a bit of everything, and I'm confident to a certain degree that if you give us the list, we can help you sort it, organize it. And what we can do is also in the emails try and enrich this information. So ask for phone numbers, ask for this and that, so that we can also enrich a bit more the list. That's also something that we can do, and we've done in the past. So I'm sure that we can help you with the list that that you have already. We can try and make the most of it. So just so that we don't basically.
That's great.
Yeah, we will help you as much as we can with that.
Fantastic. Right. And you don't seem to be too concerned about the whole cold email. So many people are like, oh, no, you can't just send them to a sales page. You need to do this and you need to do that. What is your approach around this?
Do you know where he sourced the contact information?
No, he hasn't told us that. We'll find out.
Okay. Because it might have some. Because we'll be targeting in the I'm assuming that the target. Is the target UK specific, or is it global, or?
It's global.
No, it's global.
Okay, it's global.
Okay. So it's English-speaking territories globally.
Okay.
Or English-speaking clients.
Okay. No, it shouldn't pose a problem then. We as I said, when we sit down, we can look at all the details and everything. And if something, as I said, we can also put together a list of 50, 70, 100,000 consultants. If it's global, it's very easy. That's a very large sample group. So we can definitely help with all of that and understand. And if we understand that for some security or details or GDPR compliance or anything, there's any problem, we can also help you then. We'll identify it and we'll put together lists that are compliant and all of that. Because usually, sometimes what happens is that people like yourselves will put together like a landing page even with just the contact information. People will fill it out, and then it's a lot easier to then contact them. But I'm sure that we will figure it out as well with the team and everything. We can navigate that.
And in terms of the actual campaign, we'd obviously do some form of brainstorming. I'm sure the best way to do this, because some people have advised us to rather try and get this list, to send an assessment first or some lead magnet first and get them to subscribe, rather than sending them directly to a sales landing page. Do you have similar views, or have you ever done campaigns where it is outright, it's a list and we are trying to get them to go to the sales page?
That's what I was going to ask you, actually, is what it is then the goal with these emails. Is it to subscribe to something? Is it to, what is it that you plan? What's your ultimate goal, let's say?
For this particular strategy, and it does fly in the face of everything you taught online, but this is what makes his approach so different, is his whole focus is on creating an irresistible offer, literally an irresistible offer, using very specific techniques. It took us about 4 weeks to write the sales page. It was done in a very meticulous and careful way, so that there's the slippery slide. You take people down. Oh my word.
I have no idea how you did that. I've never seen that.
It just randomly.
I think it's a Mac thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. So. Yeah. So the strategy that our mentor has laid out for us is we're going to send people straight to the sales page, and the sales page is going to take them through that emotional journey where it is so irresistible that if they have any interest, they will want to sign up. So that's for this campaign, and. As much as intellectually and based upon what you see online, is saying, well, no, you should, touch people 7 or 8 times and, put out, what do you call it? Lead generator. What's it? Lead magnet. This strategy is literally going for the jugular from the outset. So,
I mean,
and he's guaranteed it as well. I mean, we've paid a lot of money for this coaching, and he's actually guaranteed that he gets 300 to 500 subscriptions out of a list of 50,000. So the most important thing for us to do is to ensure the deliverability of the initial mail. We're still going to construct that initial mail, and he's going to work with us to do that, and obviously with your guidance and things like that. So that email is going to send them to the landing page, and from there they're going to decide whether they're in or not. So that's for this campaign. We can try obviously this business, our aim is to get to 15,000 subscribers over the next 2 years. So we're going to try many different things, and I'm sure that would include, because we are developing assessments and other cool tools that will be very attractive for people, that they'll be able to get for free.
That's also that is always a good word to include, because people love free stuff. So I mean, that's something a good way to catch people's attention 100%. I mean, if you say that your mentor's method is to go straight, send a good email and send them straight to the sales page, we can definitely incorporate that. As I said, we can create different sequences with different techniques, different copy, different everything. So we can include some of that would be that technique that your mentor enforces, and others can be something different. We can try different things at the same time, see what works best. If your mentor's technique is working very well, we'll double down on that and reuse it. So I mean, that's exactly what the first, I want to say, 2 weeks, usually 2 to 3 weeks, depends on also the communication. But that's exactly what we do. We sit down together, we understand your product as much as we can, so that we can also then write the copy and everything. And we sit down together to write everything, set up the email, set up the copy, set up everything. And then once everything is done, we start reaching out and we start seeing the responses, and again, together understand. And you probably might have some inputs that you'd like us to implement. We'll also have our recommendations on how we think we can improve the campaign. And again, and as you said, you mentioned it early in this meeting, in this call, that you said you wanted this to be a partnership, and that's exactly how we view it. The way we view ourselves is that we don't like to think of ourselves as an agency. We want to think of ourselves as an extended team members of yours. We want to be an extension of your team, not some agency that you contact. So that's exactly why we like the WhatsApp, we like everything, so that there's a lot of communication. And if we're very flexible, if there's anything that you want to change, we can change it, and we can work in that sense, basically. 100%.
Fantastic.
Sounds fabulous.
And what's your pricing?
So I mentioned the email blast. The email blast, I mean, I don't think it makes sense. So in terms of the email sequencing, it's £2,497 a month, and we roll it until you have your results, until you reach the end of the list. And as I said, this includes everything from emails warm up, all the domain setups, all the testings, and all of the setups with the email copy. The reaching out, as I said in the beginning, will be a bit slower. It will be around 50 emails a day, 50 to 70 emails a day. And so that we can, because also it doesn't make sense to reach out to a lot of emails in the beginning without knowing what's going to work best. So we want to start slower, understand what's working, and then from then start scaling up, scaling. And then once we know, we can start then reaching out to 200, 300, 400 emails per day. And then
are you guys based in the UK?
We're based in the UK, 100% in London. I'm currently, as I was saying, I'm currently in South Africa, but the rest of the team is in the UK. Yes. 100%.
Okay, great.
And then again, as I said, you'd have a WhatsApp group, so you can talk. That would be the team. You'd also have a dedicated account manager to make sure that everything is going all right. And then we work on that sense. We work very closely together to understand and to keep you updated on everything about the campaign, and we'll work together to optimize your results, basically.
Okay, so and where is the scope of something like this? Is it basically you set the scope to be it's this launch campaign, or is it within your scope of services? I mean, there's obviously beyond the launch, there's nurturing sequences, there's email
100%.
sequences in a number of ways. Where's the start and finish of what it is that you offer in a month when it comes to emailing, campaigning, and the marketing side of things?
That's what I was saying. So in terms of the responses that we're going to get, we're going to create different lists. These different lists will be uploaded to then different sequencing, so that as I said, these are email sequences. If if it's someone that you want to nurture, we can set the emails to go out every 2-3 weeks just to keep them warm and keep them engaged. If it's someone that is, as I said, like we'll set up different lists, and depending on the different type of lead that we're talking about, we'll also have different approaches. And this is also something that obviously you'll know the approach that you want for your lead and your customers best. So that's also why we want to work together and make sure that we work closely together to also meet your intentions and your requirements.
Okay. So the price is the same every month.
Yes, and we are. No, there's
not.
I mean, unless you want something else, something different, there's definitely not 100%. In terms of email sequencing, it covers everything, and we even organizing the list, everything is there. And then it's also important to mention that we are a pay-as-you-go service. So we don't really like to work with contracts because we don't want you to be tied to us by a contract that you don't want to be tied to. We want you to be with us because you like our services and we like what we offer. So as long as it makes sense for you to pay, you can pay. And if you don't, then you just stop paying. But I mean, this to say that, I mean, the first month will be mostly, as I said, a setting up month. So even though you should expect to see some results, it'll be a lot slower than, let's say, month 2 and month 3. And then obviously the longer you run it for, the better the results you'll see. And then we can work for them. And then in terms of contracts, I know that sometimes people, I've had it that I say that we don't like to work with contracts, and people also get a bit put off because then there's also not a lot of responsibility. But what we can also offer an SLA, a service letter agreement, where we state everything, all the deliverables, we put everything in paper so that we also have something to then rely on and go back to if that's something that you'd like.
Okay. We operate the same. So we don't hold a gun to people's head and say you're going to be with us. You like us or not, we got to earn that right every month.
Exactly, that's exactly how we think as well. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, that's very much in alignment with the way we view things.
Exactly.
Okay, perfect.
In terms of the first month, just so that we also have an idea in terms of scheduling, because there's certain things that we are still in the process of doing before we can actually even launch the actual email or the launch campaign. What kind of period at the outset do you normally see in terms of the setup, getting to the strategizing, the setup, the email warm up? How much time do you normally give to that part before you can actually send out launch emails?
That's what I was saying just now, is that, I mean, in terms of, so I'll answer your question first, and I'll go back to
3 weeks.
Exactly. It's usually 2 to 3 weeks, depends on because we've had it that we send a message to a client and then the client disappears for a week, and then we have to wait to get the approval, and then this and that. But if you communicate quite quickly and there's a lot of communication, then 2 weeks would be enough, and then we can start already reaching out. And then in terms of, this is what I also want to mention, is that in terms of onboarding you guys, will be fairly quick. If we do choose to work together, the way that it works, we'll send you a payment link. There will be a Stripe payment link that you can process the payment. Once that's done, you'll be redirected to our onboarding form. This onboarding form has been said to be quite painfully long, but it's for the sake of your campaign. It's just a bunch of questions so we can understand as much as you can about you guys, your goals, your targets, everything. And then after this, the next day would have a onboarding call that would be an onboarding / strategy call that would be with our founder, so that it can have a big look at your company, campaign, your goals, and outline the best possible strategy and who to go for and the copy and this and that. And then after that, give us a day and we're ready to start. So from payment to start, it's like a day, 2 days, I'd say a day or 2, and we're ready to start. So I'm assuming, because from what I'm gathering, I'm assuming that you also have a bit of urgency. There's a bit of a sense of urgency because you have the launch in 2 months and you want to go through the list. So just to say that in terms of onboarding, it's a fairly quick process, 100%.
Yes. Okay. There's just one big hurdle we need to still complete on our side, and that's we need to still get a payment gateway. We can't use Stripe, so we
you can also send an invoice. We can also send an invoice.
No, sorry, not paying you.
We can pay you on Stripe.
To receive
PayPal or whatever. It's just for us to be able to receive payments from our clients. We still need to get our secure payment gateway.
Okay.
Because it's in the Isle of Man, it's not that easy.
Okay, I see. So is that the last thing you need to be all set up for the launch then?
Yeah. So it's basically, we've got a couple of other things, but those other things are simple in comparison to this.
No, that's important. You kind of need to get the money from the clients. I mean, exactly.
We can't launch a campaign if we can't get paid.
Exactly. defeats
Just
the
a little
purpose.
bit
Just a very little detail.
I know we're running over your time limit.
I know,
here.
but feel free. No.
How do we get in touch with you? Has Carmen got your email address?
Carmen's got my email address. I mean, as I said, we work a lot with WhatsApp, so I don't know if Carmen, I have your number. If you're on WhatsApp on this number, I'm also going to follow up this call with a WhatsApp message so they can have my work number, and then we can work from here, and then I can put something. I don't know if I can also follow this email with a proposal. I'm assuming that you would want something to look at, obviously.
That'll be great.
That would be great. That would be fabulous. Thank you.
And also, quick, I forgot to mention, but these calls are automatically recorded. It's not that we do anything with them. It's just so that if you want, I can include that in the proposal so that you can have this if you want to have a look back at it, or if you wanted to show someone. Are you two I'm going to say the founders or the leaders, or is it someone? Okay, perfect. So it's just usually it's good because people have to show it to their superiors, and then it's good they can just show them the recording or everything. But in this case, it's you guys. So I mean, I'll include this also in the proposal. I'll include everything that we've mentioned, the price and everything that it includes. And I mean, while we're here, I don't know if you have any other questions, anything that I can assist you with, or.
Sounds good to me.
No, it sounds good. It sounds. I like the confidence you have around this list we have. I think we overpaid for it.
That I don't know.
We don't want to tell you what we paid.
Exactly. I also don't want to ask. I feel like it's a bit of a sensitive topic.
No.
But anyway, it's fine. It's if we achieve our target, we'll get our return on investments in a few weeks. So I'm not too worried about that. I think we've been on a big learning curve in terms of how to secure a list like this, and I think it would have been far better for us to go through you guys from the outset,
probably,
than to secure a list that's provided us with so little information, and I think they've been overpriced.
Exactly, because that's the thing. We have a lot of different tools that we can use, and depending on the tools that we use, it can specify the level and the deepness of information that we want to get ultimately. So usually,
I love that.
Just a name and an email usually doesn't get you very far, but I mean, I'm sure that we can help you and we can work with whatever maximize what you've got, so that it doesn't feel as bad. It's a bit of a step, but it's fine.
Well, look, the most important thing is deliverability. It's the email that we send out and the landing page that's actually got to do the job.
And we can also help you with that sense. I mean, I don't know if you've done the landing page yourselves, but we can also help you with the landing page, optimize it as much as we can from a web perspective. So make it, optimize its speed, so that, because we want to basically, if we're going to start generating traffic, we want this traffic to be met with as the least friction as possible, so that when it gets there, it's perfect. So the page loads quickly. There's no dropouts. There's no nothing. We can also optimize in terms of call to actions, everything. So we make it everything as basically optimize the conversions as much as we can. That's
great, because we'll definitely. It would be great to get your feedback on our sales pages. We've got two that we're going to split test. There's one that's kind of written in Carmen's voice and one that's written in my voice. Okay. So we've got these two, but obviously the
message pretty much the same.
It's the same, but it's just coming at it from
different voices.
So okay, great, thank you.
One question. Through the process, obviously we've got this list. We're going to do our best of what we can. Does your service include potentially alongside this developing a better?
100%. We can see if we're not being able to work with this list, and we can sit together and understand then how can we then create this better list.
Okay.
We'll choose industries, different professions, everything, age. We can very much narrow everything, and we can understand and work together to create a better one. But let's see. Let's try and use your list as much as we can first, and then we work from there and understand if it's not working. We will also guide you on how to then get a better one and get you the results that you're looking for.
Fantastic.
Love fantastic. It. Thank you.
Perfect.
Made my day.
Makes me happy. I mean, in terms of the proposal, I always like to ask this: are you the type of person that would like a more detailed or less detailed, more to the point? Because I can make it as big as I want, or as big as I can, or as to the point as you want.
The scope of services and the price.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't need to pull the ring out of it. Hey.
Okay, perfect. Because I had a client.
As long as we understand what it is that what would be involved, that's all that's necessary.
Perfect. No, sounds good. Sounds good. I'll do
So
that.
that's fine.
I'll do that, and thank you, because it saves my time, because I had a prospect yesterday asked me to put together a proposal as detailed as I can, and I'm busy writing it. It's already 9 pages long, and I'm still going strong. So
no, I tell you, I can't stand writing proposals. They're a complete waste of time. We've had the call. We've got the gist of it. It's kind of just cover the headlines and the price, and that's perfect. And maybe send us a copy of your typical SLA. That tells us more than anything else.
Okay, no, I'll do that.
That's something to be able to take out the draw. So no, we're not fussed about that, and you don't have to waste a lot of time on that. Thank you.
And I have looked at a lot of the videos of these videos, so I've got a good sense of what he is and what he stands for. So
you'll see. Once you meet D, you'll see he's very very sharp, very to the point. He's very energetic man, and he's very passionate, and it's a nice leader figure. It definitely 100%. You're gonna like him. But
fantastic.
Sounds good. Then I'll put everything. I'll put a short, to the sweet, and to the point proposal with the prices and then the guidelines. I'll also try and ask Keon, our managing director, to then give me an example of an SLA to show you guys, and I'll aim to send it to you until the end of the day today. Definitely, I'll get it to you at the end of the day. Might be a late one, but I'll send it to you till the end of the day.
No, that's fine. Even if you get it just tomorrow, that's fine.
Okay.
It's actually Carmen's birthday, so we're taking the day.
Actually. Tomorrow. Okay. So I'll send you a message tomorrow wishing you a happy birthday. Perfect.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you guys. 100%. It's good to see people that are here from South Africa as well. It's refreshing.
Yeah.
And
it's always cool to meet fellow Saffers, hey?
100%. Because I was actually born in Portugal, and I've lived a lot of my life in Portugal, but I've been coming here more frequently. I've been spending summer here, summer in Portugal for the past 4 years. And I swear to God, I feel as much as home in Cape Town as I feel in Portugal. I love the people in Cape Town. I love Cape Town. I came here to visit. I came for, I think it was about 2 weeks. I liked it so much. I went back, got all my stuff, and came here for 6 months. I like it. I like it.
Beautiful city.
Beautiful city, beautiful people. 100%.
Yeah. Great.
Exactly. But okay.
Good. Well,
thank you so much, guys. I'll send everything to you, and I will be in touch. Perfect.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Bye.
Cheers. Cheers.
Bye.